Hi everybody, welcome. Okay, now, this topic is, someone said they're being pressured by their parents to be like a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or something, but ideally, they just want to be a bricklayer or a carpenter or something. Now, this was a scenario which exactly happened to me, which I wanted. Now, this person wants to know, how do you tell your parents? How do you tell them when people got such high expectations of you? How do you tell them that, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to, I want to do something else. It's hard because I'm sure I touched on this in one of the previous videos, but I've got an older brother, three older sisters. My older sister, she went to university. Okay, she went to art college. She's doing really well. She's got her own business. She does a lot of stuff with her hands. Next sister, firefighter. She's very high ranking in the fire department. Okay. My next sister, teacher. Deputy head in the school. Went from Cayman Islands to Brazil. Teaching. She's doing very well. Brother, an accountant. He's doing very well. Now there's me, the youngest in the family, and I was always good with my hands, to a point where when we all moved out, my brother could be at my mum's house, sitting there watching football or whatever, because I think my mum had Sky or something. My mum would phone me and she'd ask me to come to her house to fix something, I don't know, change a fuse on the plug or something or other. I think, well, my brother's sitting there, why can't he do that? But he can do those things. He was good with this, not so much with this. And I think this is where the Aikidoflow stuff comes in. I always loved using my hands, and I always loved just getting down, doing stuff. I remember doing a course in secondary school that was bricklaying, carpentry, electrics and plumbing. And I was very good at that. I loved the idea of just building stuff with my hands. And I remember feeling that pressure of trying to tell my mum that, look, mum, I just want to learn a trade. I want to learn a trade. And I just couldn't tell her. I could not tell her. I couldn't bring myself to tell her this is what I want to do, especially when I had the pressure of my older siblings doing so well. And I feel bad because I thought my mum would look down on that. But when I think about it, my mum's not with me anymore, but I don't think she would have. I really don't think she would have. I think she would have just been happy that I'm doing something stable and doing something that I enjoy. And I know now working in a school, I see a lot of kids who are under that same pressure from their parents. Their parents got such high expectations of them, but they just not interested in doing the things that their parents want to do. Their parents will come and say, no, I want my son he's going to Oxford, he's going to Harvard, and these kids have got no interest in even going to college, yet alone going to Oxford, or Cambridge. They've got no interest. So there's all this pressure on them. So the only way to really tell your parents that you cannot fill the expectations, you want to do something completely different, is just tell them. There's only one way, and that's just to tell them outright. You can't play it down, you can't sugarcoat it, because then you are at risk of that parent getting the wrong impression. Like, oh, okay, so you want to be a bricklayer, maybe you just be a bricklayer for a year and then eventually you'll go and study accounts. No, not interested in accounts. I want to be a bricklayer. I want to learn a trade. That's what I want to do. That's what I will enjoy. This is my future. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You have to make it clear. People need to understand that even if I did study to be, let's say I studied to be an accountant like my brother, I'm going to study to be an accountant. I'm going to go and work as an accountant. I'm not going to enjoy it. And I'm going to be up against a whole bunch of other people who want to be accountants. Who's going to thrive in that environment? Me, who's just there because I felt like I was persuaded by my parents, or the people that wanted to be there and enjoy the job and flourish in it and they relish it and it excites them. The whole point is, in conclusion, okay, we need to do what we want to do, what we enjoy doing, because we're always going to be up against people in that same environment who want to do the same thing as you. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing and take pride in what you're doing, you're never going to excel. You're just going to be there, getting by, earning your wage. And people will excel and they will leave you behind. So if you're ever in that situation, just tell your parents, tell them, or whoever it is who's putting that pressure on you that wants you to be something that you don't want to be. You just need to just tell them and disregard their feelings, because this is what's more important is your own feelings and what you want to do with your future. So please let me know if you're in a situation like this, because, I would hate to put that kind of pressure on my kids. And I think we all need to understand how we need to react in certain situations. So, comment and I will get back to you in the comments, and hopefully I can learn something from you. We can all learn from each other. Take care.